Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right. Really just want to thank my buddy Kyo for introducing, and we've been partnering up for about 1.5 years already. And talking about that is I myself actually learned a lot from Kyo. I mean, in terms of women, I might know a little bit, but in terms of life, I actually learned a lot from him. And most of you guys, if you guys have been out with him, you know what he can do in the South scene, right? You guys see what he can do, right? But to get started, right, I just want to welcome you guys, each and one of you. As most of you guys already know, my name is Git, and I've been coaching guys on how to become successful women for the past 9 years plus already, right? And I just want to, before I get started, I just want to share with you guys a little bit about my own self so that you guys know where I'm coming from. But before I get into that I'm sure most of you guys are here because you guys are here. You want to learn how to better improve your social skills, get better confidence, and also date the girl of your dreams. Am I right? Yeah? Most what? Guys not raising up means what? You guys, if you guys are not raising up, I think you guys might want to walk the dog. It might be gay. But so the thing is, really, the goal of this seminar is really for me to give you guys as much value as possible. To really share with you guys, not just success women. For me, I always tell all my students, pickup is a way of living. It's not just learning a few pickup lines and routine, it's about becoming a better person. And I hope through this seminar to show you guys this, all right? Back to myself, I've been doing this for quite some time already. I got started this about 10 years back, 10 years plus, so I can't exactly remember. But when I first got started, I was actually a very shy and very introverted person. I still remember the time where I used to get bullied in school all the time. I've literally no friends at all. Due to the fact that when I was young, I was actually diagnosed with mild autism. I still remember the time when I was young, my dad would bring me to go see a psychologist over at SGH, because when I was young, I just do not socialize with people at all. And my mom and dad think there's something like a problem with me. So they sent me to go see a psychologist. And because of that, it just affected my childhood big time. Forget about girls, I can't even just talk to guys properly. And I still remember the time when I was in secondary school. I would get bullied all the time. One of my guys who used to be a secondary school friend of mine, he's supposed to be here actually, right? He's one of my students also, but unfortunately he cannot make it. But if you guys were to ask him personally how I was like about, when he first met me, in secondary school, I was really an awkward kid, shy kid. I have no friends at all. I get bullied all the time because I was like this scrawny kid, and I was this guy. I wanted to be cool also, you see. Even though I'm like introverted, I want to be this cool guy. So I would sit at the back of class, and I would try to be cool and fold my arms. It's like, okay, I'm going to be cool, but it kind of backfired on me, and I get bullied because of that. But it was only about 10 years plus back when I kind of got back home from school. And at that point of time, I was just feeling really, really down. And I was like, why can't I just be like the cool kids? Why can't I just be that guy that is fun, outgoing, with tons of friends? Why can't I just be that guy? All right. I was so tired of being really lonely. I was just tired of not having any friends at all. Right? Most of you guys probably have friends. I have no friends at all, literally zero. Right? My only friend was my magic buddy that I learned magic from. And that was my only friend and my mentor in magic. Only those two friends of mine. And just happened to know who's that mentor of mine in magic also. And at that point of time, I feel something is really wrong. And that was when I really decided to make a decision that I'm going to get this part of my life handled no matter what. And since then, I went on a journey and learned what exactly it takes to be successful women. I still remember I went up to my magic mentor and I went to him, I said, hey Solomon, like, I want to become more confident. I want to how to talk to people better. But of course, at that point of time, I didn't like, hey, I want to learn how to pick up girls, get better girls. It wasn't like that. I just want to be more confident. And I said, oh, that's great, Ash book. Then he recommended me this book called How to Talk to Anyone by Leo Lawrence. And that kind of got me started. And I read the book, I finished up in 2 weeks. And that's a really great book actually. It talk about conversation tips and tricks, but completely nothing to do with success of women. Then after 2 weeks, I read that book. I think it's not too bad, but it didn't really got me anywhere. So I went back to him. I said, hey, Solomon, that's a great book, man. But do you have any better books you have to recommend me in terms of women-wise so I can get better at girls? And then he said, yeah, Gid, I got something for you. That was when he recommended me another dating book called Double Your Dating by David D'Angelo. It's a very, very old book. And I read that book and that kind of got me started. And since then, I never looked back. But when I did my first approach, ever since I read that Double Your Dating, I read this line, it said, go up to a girl and say, hi, are you single or not? Excuse me, are you single or not? That was one of the most, it's not really a good opener in Singapore context, but I still do it. I was like, I'm going to get this part of my life handled, I do it. So I went up I went to Borders, right, when Borders was still around many years back, and it was all at this magazine corner. So I went up to her, I was shaking, it was my first approach. I was so nervous, I was like this. I was like, hi, are you single or not? Then straight away, right, the girl was like, no, I have a boyfriend. And I was like, okay, cool, and I just left. Next 2 weeks, I stayed at home. I did not go out at all. That was my very first approach. And that kind of just like, I just took a huge hit from that. I stayed home for 2 weeks. I was telling myself, this shit do not work. I'm gonna quit. This is a bunch of crap. But at the end of 2 weeks, I look back and I would say like, if I do not get this part of my life handled, where am I going to be? I'm going to be this guy, this awkward, shy guy who have no friends, no life. And that wasn't what I want. And that was at a point of time, I really commit myself. When I say I want to make a decision to get this part of my life, at a point of time, yes, I wanted to, but it wasn't that strong, right? I wasn't that committed. At that point in time, I really commit myself. And since then, I went on a journey. I have my own fair share of success and my own fair share of failures also. When I first got started, I got rejected a lot. Guys, when they look at me right now, before I came here, when Q was talking about going up and talking to a girl, the reason why I was a bit rushing because I saw this girl, I was like, hey, guys, 1 minute, right? So I just went over, I just talked to that girl. I was like, okay, I talked more than 1 minute. I was like, all right, let's go. I was a bit late actually. So that was that. But anyway, back to where we're talking. When I first got started, I got rejected a lot, right? I got rejected a lot. I pretty much 10 out of 10 girls reject me. I shit you guys not. 10 out of 10 girls reject me. It took me 6 months to roughly get my first number. Roughly about a year to get my first lead. But for me, it wasn't so much the rejection that deterred me. It was really the journey for me, and I enjoy every moment of it. It is because of pick-up. It's because of learning to become successful with women. It kind of makes me who am I right now today, right? For me, I'll be very honest with you guys. I have no qualification. I stopped studying since O-level. The day before my N-level exam, I was out actually at the nightclub, right? I was out picking up girls, and my buddy was like, hey, Gade, I thought you have exam the next day. I was like, no, I'm going to get this part of my life handled. And I never regretted it. And I still enjoy every moment of this because it is pick-up that makes me who am I, right? Someone with me that do not have a qualification is able to still make a decent living in Singapore. I used to do real estate. My main career is in real estate. And I'm able to make a good career out of it, right? And it is because of pick-up, right? Of course, I'm not asking you guys to quit your study, quit your school, and so on and so forth. You guys don't have to, right? You guys just need to dedicate a certain amount of time to get this part of your life handled, okay? So that's pretty much a little bit about myself. As we go along, I will share, with you guys a little bit more. And, if you guys have any question you'd like to ask about me, feel free to. All right? So with that.